Morning, folks. Welcome to our assembly. Now, I reckon there's probably a lot of people who are a little bit excited today, not just in school, but also around the country. Can you tell me what exciting thing is happening this evening? That's right. It's the World Cup, the Euro semi-finals, and England are playing for the first time in a long time. So we're going to have a little bit think about the football that's going on today, because there's some stuff that you might not have thought about when you are thinking about football. You see, you sit and watch these sorts of things. Let's just present my screen. Tab, and here we go. Okay, so have a think. The England football team. What does it take to be a member of the England football team? You have to be a really good footballer. Is that it? Have a think. What else? What other skills might you need? Okay, talk to the person sitting next to you, then put your hand up and tell your teacher. Now, I'd thought of things. I thought you've obviously got to be a really good footballer. You've got to be really fit. You've got to be very fast runner. You've got to be very decisive because you've got to know what to do straight away. You've got to be a really good team player. You've got to be able to talk to each other, support each other, and to anticipate what other people are going to do. So there's a lot of skills. Extremely dedicated, extremely hardworking. Lots and lots of things that you have to be a member of the England football team. So what we're going to have a look at now is this map. What does that map show? That's right, it's Europe. It's the countries in Europe. So we've got the UEFA Euro 2020 tournament that's being held with countries from around Europe over the course of this summer. It's a football tournament between the 24 competing nations, and teams have played in their selected groups, which were drawn at random, and the teams in each group play each other, and then the top two teams go through to the knockout stage, and eventually only two teams will be left, and they will play in the final to win. Now we're in the semi-finals, so before the finals at the moment, and the matches started on the 11th of June, and the final will be on the 11th of July, and it will be hosted at Wembley Stadium in London. Now in 2016, there were 2 billion people from around the world that watched the tournament. And there have been 15 UEFA European Championship finals so far. And this is the first time that the games are being held in different locations around Europe, because they're normally just in one place. So we've got our 24 nations, and there's 11 cities that are hosting it. And the teams had to qualify, so they had matches before this as well. And the cities who wanted to be a host for the tournament had to say to UEFA, the governing body, this is why we think our city should be chosen. This is why we would be a good host for the event. And then UEFA chose the countries that were going to host it based on the bids that they put forward. So there's an awful lot that goes into it, because you just watch the match, but actually you've got to think about all of the things that happen before that, all the things that go on to make it something that we broadcast on TV. How did we get to the stage where we got these teams who are playing for us? There's so much that goes on for that 90-minute match. There's so many other jobs, and it makes it an interesting thing to think, actually, how did we get to this stage? How did those players get chosen? So there's lots that goes on behind the scenes that we don't necessarily think about. So let's have a look at this. Why do we play team sports? Now, in school, we play team sports. We play lots and lots of different games. We play some individual stuff, but we play some team games as well. It might be football. It might be all sorts of other things. But there's loads of different options. There's some here. So tell a person you're sitting next to why you play team sports, or what the good things are about playing team sports. So it might be that it helps you to be fit and healthy. It might be about having fun, at not worrying about things as much when you do some kind of physical activity, about learning to work with other people, making new friends. That might not be the case when you're in school because you've already got these friends, but you might join a sports club and help you to meet new people, make new friends. Playing sport, keeping active can make you feel happy, can make you feel good about yourself, and learning problem-solving skills. So there's loads of reasons why we play those team sports. It's really, really good for us. Now, football, you might look at it and think, well, I can't play like the people on the TV. I know by now, I'm 45, I'm not going to be an England footballer. I'm just not. So should I never play football? Of course not. Football is a game for all. It's a game for people who identify as male and female. It's a game for young and old. It's a game for people who are able-bodied and people who aren't able-bodied. I know somebody who is, I think, 68 years old, and he can't run like he used to. So there's a group of people, all roughly about the same age, and they play walking football. And it means that they can play their game of football, but they just walk, so it's that bit easier for them. So it doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter how well you can get about. There are ways to play football for absolutely everybody. It's a game that welcomes everyone. Now, you could play it and you can watch it as well. So that's the other thing about it, is that it's not just to take part in. You can enjoy that from the watching point of view as well. So there's loads of ways that we can take part. And we talked about how it's kind of organized. So there's all these people in all these different countries. So in each country, there's a stadium, and there's people who help you to get to the stadium, who help you to be seated so you can watch the match. There's camera crews so that it can be filmed. There's sports coaches, there's physios, there's doctors. There's all this kind of thing that goes on behind the scenes. But how does it link to the stuff we do with our brains? Is it just physical, where you're just running? Or do we have to think about stuff as well? Let's have a think. Is it just kicking a ball? Or is there any science and maths involved in football? Have a think. Well, I think there might be science and maths involved. We could think about keeping track of the scores in a table, where you present all the information table on your page, and that's a bit of maths. It might be that we use forces. We talk about gravity and air resistance when we're talking about football, even down to the fact that the players have got really tight tops on, so there's no drag through the air as their clothes were kind of wafting the breeze. So there's loads and loads of maths and science in football as well, and sports science is a really exciting career to get into. So there's loads of things going on that it's not just to do with playing football on the playground or on the field or wherever you choose to play. So if you're watching the England match tonight, have a really good time, but it starts at 8 o'clock, so don't come into school really tired and grumpy tomorrow. Make sure you have a good night's sleep as well. And we all keep our fingers crossed and hope that England win. Have a lovely rest of the day, guys. I'll see you around school. Bye-bye.